Hello everybody, this is KJ with KJ's True Crime Campfire, and today we're going to have an interview with Miss Tami West, who had quite an episode yesterday, and she was missing from about 8:30 yesterday morning until 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and I was part of the search party that went out there searching for her, and praise the Lord, she was found safe. And so today I just want to ask you a few questions. And can you just tell me what happened yesterday?
Sure. I just wanted to go for a walk just to clear my mind, And I thought I knew where I was going. And I just went too far and I have back trouble and knee trouble. I went too far and then I couldn't get up from where I was at. It was kind of like a ravine. And I couldn't.
So you were walking down the hill?
I was walking down a hill. It's a really big hill. I mean, straight down, because I thought I'd end up at maybe a river that's in this area. And I did. I did end up at a creek bed. And so I went, I followed that creek bed for a little ways. And I knew I started getting in trouble when I started not being able to climb back up out of the creek bed. Because it's just like, just straight up on both sides of the creek bed. So I crawled a little ways. Crawled on my hands and knees under some brush. And I found an opening. It was like maybe a 7-foot opening that was just, you could see the sky. It's just straight up an opening like that. And I tried to climb up there 2 or 3 times and I kept falling back down to the bottom of the, where I was trying to climb up from. And I knew, I've always heard hug a tree. So I thought, best thing I can do is just stay right here instead of trying to go any farther. And I had no idea of the time. It seemed like I was only out there maybe 3 or 4 hours maybe. But it ended up being twice that long. And so I could hear a drone sometimes, and I heard some dogs barking sometimes, and I was yelling, my head off. And then all of a sudden I thought, I'm going to have to be here all night. So I thought, I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep so I could be awake all night, because I was afraid of coyotes and bears, and snakes.
Yes.
And of course, I didn't have a light or anything, but I thought that opening might give me enough light that I could see a little bit where I was sitting. And I just laid over, and I heard the young men talking. I didn't hear a side-by-side, nothing. They had a side-by-side, and I didn't hear it, but I just heard them talking. And I started yelling for them, and they come running for me.
Awesome.
They come running for me. And I was never so glad, and just praised God that they heard me and they were there.
Yes.
And they were able to get me up out of that ravine that I was in and everything.
Yeah. They had a dog out there searching for your scent, but he didn't find you.
No, I think they got it bumped. I think they got him on the wrong path, this boy down here, because I didn't walk over the hill where that trailer is. I walked back out this way. There's a little ridge that goes back out behind the house.
You went that way from your home?
Yes. There's a little ridge that goes out through there, a little road.
Oh, okay.
And then
I thought you went that way.
No, then I went down over the hill from there.
And you normally walk through the woods? You know it pretty well over here?
No, I hadn't done it I had never been over in the woods here, but I'm just getting too old and too fat to do anything else. But I just try to keep on going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
We
but
just gotta stick to the
I just went too far.
marked roads, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just went too far.
Well, I'm so glad that you're okay. When I figured that you fell down the ravine.
That was one thing that I did worry about. I was on the far side of the creek, and I could look over across the creek, and there were really big rocks and kind of like drop-offs, cliffs. And then there's some few rocks down below that. And I thought, that's one reason that I wanted to get closer to the creek, because I was afraid I'd get too far and not know that that was what it was and fall off.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found a creek, because at least there's water there. If you
There is.
yeah.
There was a few stagnated pools of water. I was kind of afraid to drink it. I did drink about 3 or 4 handfuls one time because I was afraid that it would be, I didn't want to get sick from that.
Right.
Because there's a few stagnated pools I did see.
Yeah.
But I found a little running part that was running over some rocks, and I got me a few handfuls there.
So, I guess you've already answered what would you do next time if you wanted to go for another walk?
Well, number one, I can't do that kind of walk anymore.
Going down that
Right.
steep hill.
Right. I would stick to some kind of straight, level path because of my age and my issues with my back and knees. And then I would not, I would make sure somebody knew where I was at.
Yes. Did you have a cell phone with you?
No water cup, no nothing, because I didn't plan on being gone
Right.
long.
Yeah.
So I just went out for a walk,
And I'd say that would be good advice for anybody, not just somebody in a certain shape, but don't go walking in the woods if there's a path that's marked. Like
Right.
you have a
And
gravel road, you have a
Right.
paved road.
Exactly.
Those would probably be better to stay on.
Exactly. Yeah. Even if you get hurt, at least you're on a path. And always let somebody know where you're going.
Yes.
I went out back, and I thought my dad was out back in his little garden, and he wasn't. And I thought, oh, well, he might be up here at the little shed that he has up here. He wasn't up there, so I just kept on walking because I didn't plan on being gone long.
Right. Is that your dad that I met outside?
Yes.
Okay, very nice man.
Yeah. Our mother passed away a couple of years ago, and yesterday I was having a hard morning. Grief never leaves you.
I know. I lost my mom in 24.
So you
And I
know
was thinking
how
about her a lot yesterday too.
it just never goes away. And sometimes I know that walking can help clear your head.
Yeah.
I used to walk a lot, and it would always clear my head. But I hadn't been walking or anything for a long time. I'm just out of shape, a lot older, and just not physically able to do that anymore.
Yeah. So what do you think, what lessons, like you already said, make sure somebody knows where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And actually I did that too when I was coming up towards here yesterday. I called my sister and let her know because I didn't know if I was going to get in some area that I couldn't get out of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I let her know what I was doing, so at least they would know what area that I'm going to be
That
in.
you were going to. Absolutely. That's the best thing to do, is always let somebody know where you're going, what you're doing. Always take a cell phone.
Yes.
Always. And if you can't, always take a thing of water, with you. If you're going to go very far. But like I said, I'm not physically able to go too far, but I would have my phone with me for sure.
Right.
And because it's got maybe you can get a signal, and it's got a light on it. So
Exactly.
you'll be able to see if anything's coming.
Right. So then you prepare yourself and know your physical capabilities and your
Absolutely.
limitations.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I wouldn't, like when I was searching for you, I was going to the edges of the woods and I was hollering your name down in there and asking you to make noise of some kind if you could.
Yes. You know what I did? I had a long stick that I had found that I was helping me walk some, but I would sit down and I would take a rock and beat on that stick, and it made a really loud noise.
That's awesome.
I did some of that, and I would try to make noise to make sure any animals might not, be around me that might hurt me.
Right.
Of course, but I did. When I heard the drone, I was yelling. When I heard the dogs, I was yelling. But I heard the train whistle, that train track up here. and I was trying to get up that hill to go toward that train whistle, and I kept falling back down, and I tried as many times as I could till I had nothing left.
Yeah.
And then I thought, this is where I'm gonna stay until hopefully somebody can find me. And I was planning on staying all night, and I was worried about it.
But you had hope because
Yeah.
you knew that your family was going to miss you and
Yeah.
they would be searching for you within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to have family that loves you.
absolutely. And I'm so grateful for every single person that came out and helped. I just thank God for every single person that did. They just don't know how much I do. I can't express how much I thank God for them.
Thank you. Thank you. It was bittersweet.
Yes.
On my end. Of course, I don't know you. I never saw you before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But just searching for you, it was scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't know what we were going to find.
Exactly.
We didn't know if you were going to be okay or not.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you were found, and they said, they found her, we're all meeting over at the helicopter pad.
Yes.
So all of us just got it back in our own cars and headed over to that helicopter pad. And I tell you, that probably 20 minutes was a very, very long 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But when you rode up, and I could tell which one was you because your family just flocked to you.
Yes, they did.
With hugs and kisses and I love yous and oh my goodness, I don't know. It was such a happy moment, and I'm so glad
Yes.
that I got to be there for that.
Yes,
And I'm so glad you're okay.
I thank you for that, and I thank you for all you've done too, for coming and searching for me. Thank God for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every single body had a great part, and I was never so glad when I seen how many people were there. I was overwhelmed
Yeah.
because I couldn't imagine that many people would be looking for me. I really thought it'd just be my family, to tell you the truth.
Right.
And I was just overwhelmed when I seen how many people were there.
Yeah, I got to meet several members of your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody was open with, you know, this is who she is to me. And your ex-husband was one of them. He said, I'm worried to death about her. He was out there searching for you. He was going up the trails and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I talked to your ex-brother-in-law. And I talked to your sister and your current brother-in-law. And probably another sister.
I have two sisters. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe a couple of nieces.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, your family was gathered around. And
Yeah.
that is quite a blessing.
Yes, it is.
I'm so glad that
Yes, it
everybody
is.
was there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, letting me into your beautiful home, and
My
just
mama
on the
did all
spur of the
this, yeah.
moment. Huh?
I appreciate you coming. I really do. I hope that it helps somebody else to maybe think about him, the boy
Yes.
in your shirt. What's his name again?
His name is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers.
For Sebastian Rogers. Yeah.
Yes, he's missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee,
Yeah.
and he's been gone for over 2 years now.
That is just unbelievable, and the poor family
Yes.
not knowing nothing.
I can't even, I don't want to imagine what he's going through,
Right.
but it just breaks my heart knowing that he doesn't have to imagine that.
Yeah.
His father's out there searching for him and
Right.
just devastated.
I can only imagine that how horrible that would be for his family.
I mean, just in the experience with looking for you yesterday, your sister was the first one I met, and her face, I can't even describe it. It was pure devastation.
Yeah.
It was fear.
Yeah.
It was, the unknown and not knowing what was gonna come.
Right.
There's another lady missing from up here somewhere.
She's been gone for a few years.
Yeah, since
She's
22.
last name is Chitwood.
Yes, is it Darlene?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And what's so horrible about that is it's not a good outcome when they've been gone that long.
Yeah.
That as long as she has. There was this young girl that when my mother was alive, she was friends with this girl's grandmother, and she
That
would
same girl?
No, her name was Crystal. I forget her last name, Crystal. But she had been gone for years and years, and they searched and they searched, and then they found her remains in a rolled up tarp. Like she'd been there for several years, and she'd been shot.
Oh.
So it's scary because you never know, especially in these kinds of forests where it's so thick, and you know people go out and grow things and they don't want you to get into their stuff or tell where their stuff is or whatever, and it's really scary.
Yeah. Good old Rocky Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Miss Tammy. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you so much.
I appreciate you.
I'm so glad everything's come out good for you.
Me too, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm really amazed that this came to be. Like I was telling you before I started recording, I just happened to wind up on the same road today, a road that I never knew existed before yesterday.
And that's
So I
amazing.
said,
That's God telling you something.
that's why I said I gotta get my courage up and go see if she's willing to talk to me.
Yes, yes.
So
And I
you
think,
did.
yes, I did. And I hope it helps. And I'm glad you came up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. And
I'll give you a hug.
Yes.